Good morning. Welcome to the 3-in-1 Synergy webinar. Our webinar today is 3-in-1 Dashboards and Report Cards. This is the fifth in a series providing a look into the building blocks of 3-in-1s in North America. In the coming months, we will build on these topics covering different aspects of 3-in-1 from the ground up. We welcome you to attend all or any of that interests you. Please visit the 3-in-1 CS Week Synergy Group website for the full schedule and to register for upcoming webinars. In this exclusive webinar recording, today's speaker, Dianna Phillips, 3-in-1 Call Center Manager from the City of Tulsa, will be discussing Tulsa's dashboard and report cards and how to create them. Just a little overview on the 3-in-1 Synergy Group. We're an industry networking group for current and prospective 3-in-1 customer contact managers throughout North America. There's a lot of information sharing and education, and it's a lot of fun. This group is open to all municipalities with an interest in 3-in-1. Our 2015 chairperson is Leslie Ham, 3-in-1 Director for Montgomery County, Maryland. The 3-in-1 Synergy Group invites you to join us for our annual 3-in-1 Synergy meeting in Phoenix, Arizona this year, April 24th through 26th in 2016. It's a 3-day event packed with great sessions that we can all benefit from, whether you've been to one of these events or not. But hopefully you can attend. The 3-in-1 Synergy Group also has a group on LinkedIn. Please join us for industry news and networking. With that said, it is my pleasure to introduce Dianna Phillips of the City of Tulsa. Thank you, Dianna, for joining us today.
Thank you, Richard. I'm glad to be here and talk about preparing reports and reducing the amount of time it takes to make reports. Driven by rapid changes in technology and consumer behavior, customer service expectations continue to increase, and even the best call centers are struggling to keep up. Overall, every call center wants to promote efficiency and effectiveness. There are usually multiple systems in a call center, including phone systems, citizen, customer databases, workforce management, quality monitoring, which provide stats through their reporting feature. All of these systems usually come with canned reports. In most cases, not all of the stats are needed on the canned report, or you need one stat from one report and another stat from another report. So you have multiple reports to pull. And this also tends to be done by each supervisor. So you have multiple effort being taken to pull the same reports. Analyzing and understanding these stats can help manage employees and help employees self-manage themselves for areas of improvement. If most of these systems have ad hoc reporting, you can create your own reports that would actually be able to show just the stats that you're interested in seeing. And once you can customize that to pull just the stats that you want, then you could reduce the amount of effort that's being involved, because one person could pull all of those reports, and the time involved would reduce, and since all the supervisors wouldn't be pulling the same reports. And of course, if you have multiple people pulling the reports, then there's also multiple chances of human errors and providing different stats, for different between different teams. So once you understand how to pull the reports and the stats that you want from each of the tools, then you could create one tool that will combine all of those stats into one source of data. And I refer to this as the PerfMan tool, which stands for Performance Management. And that tool then can create from the unified source of data all the different reports that you might want to see. The call center stats for the whole center, agent stats like an agent scorecard so that they can self-manage. PMD is what we refer to as our monthly performance management that the supervisors go over with the agents. Already mentioned the agent scorecards, and then we also have a weekly report that goes to the mayor, all created by the one source of data. So to give a graphic representation of this, you can see the different systems, and instead of all those people repeating the same effort, it all is done by one person and goes into the one source of data, and then the PerfMan tool you would combine it with the PerfMan tool, and the secret of the PerfMan tool is macros. So once you created it to where it combines everything, you can record the steps that it takes to do that on a daily basis. And instead of taking your one person 20, 30, 45 minutes to manually go through each step, the recording will actually run on its own, and it runs much faster. You can reduce this down, depending on how many steps there are, to 30 seconds. The most I've seen one of my macros run is like 3 minutes. So you can dramatically even reduce the one person's effort, and the same steps are repeated exactly the same every day. So your accuracy and efficiency and consistency of your stats are every day. And a few of the reports that we've created, I'm going to show you a few of them. We have the call center stats, which is the overall for the call center, and agent stats, where management can just see all the agents together. And then our PMD is our monthly performance management document that the supervisors use to go over with the agents their performance. The agent scorecard is emailed every day, and that is by using a macro, and it shows yesterday's results and the current up-to-date monthly results. And the departmental reports would show the whole department as a whole, the stats for the whole department. And then we have weekly performance reports, as I said, to the mayor. So let's take a look at how this is done. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so what we're looking at is the Excel tool that combines all the data. And this tab, Developer, you can see it doesn't normally show up just as you open Excel out of the box. I'm going to show you how to get to it. You go to Options under the File menu, and you go to Customize Ribbon, and then you check off the Developer tab right there, and then it will show up. And on the Developer tab, you can see these macros. This is what gives you the macros. I have several reports open, so it's actually showing me all the macros on all the reports if I want to run. And I'm going to go down here, and this is the one that updates the PerfMan from all the data. So what that means is that your one person goes in and pulls the data from each of the systems of those raw data, and then we recorded a macro that runs and brings it into the different reports. And as you can see, it moves quite fast. Some of these reports are rather large, and they'll take a moment to open. It's opening the different reports that it's going to be updating. And that auto pay and email report is actually very large at the end of the year. Need to have it actually, we actually make a yearly report so that it opens faster. And right now it has all of 2015 in it. This is gathering all the stats right now and from the different reports and putting it into one spreadsheet. This is the center stats for the day for yesterday. Okay, and now the macro, I have it paused in there. It's going to open another report that will update where the stats go, because this, what we're looking at right now is the one source of data. We have, you'll see down at the bottom, historical center and historical. Historical is the agents. So the center is aggregated numbers for all of the agents together, and historical shows each of those agents' individual stats by skill set by day. And it's going to update a different report that actually shows those stats in a more friendly manner than just raw data. And so this is the center stats. And this, as you can see, the different agents under the historical stats. And I'm just going to scroll over to the right a little bit so you can see it's pulling in all kinds of information. This is their leave time from our time reporting system. This is the quality. Telstrat is our quality. IMSA is something that we record. Auto pay, setting people up on auto pay emails. And then their aux codes. It tracks everything for the agent. But this isn't how you would want to show it to people. So this is just the storage of all those numbers. So I'm going to close these two reports. We've created the storage of all the numbers and updated all the reports that we do want to see that are in a friendly manner. For example, this is the TMD. And I haven't mentioned yet, this utilizes pivot tables in Excel. These are all pivot tables. This section right here, you can come down and choose a different month and see the stats change, and it's a pivot table. So it takes a little bit to create these initially, and we kind of start with one, and then you just keep building. So over months, you just acquire all these different reports. But once you know how to create the pivot tables, then it's not that difficult. You just keep creating them, the different ways you want to see the information. So this is, they go over this section goes over their call stats. This section goes over their different stats like qualities and evaluations we track, call avoidance, things like that. This is their leave time for that month. Actually, this is their aux codes, what they schedule adherence and things like that. And then this one is their leave time. And then this is a two-page report. And that is their quality. That's accessing the quality report. And then this is a section for notes. And this is what they do every month to prepare for their one-on-ones. This section tells them if everything matches, so you can see it doesn't match because we changed this to December and such. And then they hit refresh stats, which accesses the one source of data and makes sure they have the latest stats. And then they hit, both these buttons are macros. And then they hit save document in a new tab. And this is the tool, the file is a tool to do that. When they hit save document, it actually goes over to another file. This is a separate file. As you can see at the bottom, it creates these different tabs. It gives the year, the month, and the first two initials of the first and last name, so that you always have a different name for each tab. And you can see that this supervisor has done for December. And then they just print them. This is a view of the center stats, the aggregate center stats. It's another file. I just closed the PMD. And this has several different reports in it. And it, as you can see, this is for January week 1, 2016. It's a pivot table. And with pivot tables, you can filter and choose different things that you want to see. We have different types of groups in our call center. We have the 311, we have a refuge group, and we have a utilities water group. And this pivot table is accessing the historical tab, and this second pivot table is accessing the center tab. And we've created one view here that you can just copy and paste into an email if you want to, that would include all the stats for a management, for management to see for the whole center. We also had a request to see it in a different way, which it's a little more easier to read. So we actually send both of these out, but it's the same stats for the whole center, aggregated for the whole center. And then this is the agent stats, and this is for leadership to be able, you'd be able to see how people are doing as far as who are outliers, who might need some coaching. And you can see, the average for the whole center. So if somebody is more than 5.3, like this person, you would probably want to do some coaching with them on call avoidance. So this is pretty handy for being able to manage your team. And then we have, just a moment, let me get to the agent scorecard. Now, the agent scorecard is created also from that one source of data, and it's done with merging Word with Excel, and you can send these out on a daily basis. And again, you just start the mail merge and it just sends it out, so it doesn't take very long or much effort, to do. The effort really comes in just building it. But once it's built, and all you have to do is, tweak it every now and then. So as you can see, this is what the agents get every day. And we promote self-management, change something up. See if you can increase that area that you might have a weakness in or something. And so this was very valuable to us once we got this one created. And the agents really like it because it makes them in control of their career and their performance. And the weekly management report, this is what the mayor sees. It's an overview of a lot of the aggregate numbers. We've created charts based on those. and you can see he can see the whole year and how it's doing and the different movements. We include those that second view of the center stats for the month, for the week. Sorry, it's a weekly report. So as you can see, all of these reports come from that one source of data, of that one file that stores all the data. So you get a consistency of reporting. You're not going to get a different number because it was pulled by a different person on a different day and used a different parameter. So it's definitely more efficient, more accurate, and less time-consuming to be able to do that. And one key table that helps with this is the names and dates. Let's see, I don't have that open. I'm going to show you that. Just a moment. Share my screen again. So you have your raw source of data. And you have all these different systems. So what the names and dates file does is give the user IDs, because all these systems tend to have their own unique way of doing a user ID. And this file actually puts all the different names. Sorry, that was a pivot table based on this page. We have the agent's name, we have their VIA login, we have their supervisor information. Chronos is our timekeeping. Tailstrap is our quality. Affinity is our water billing. We have their hire dates, their group that they're in, how they like to see their reported name. So if their name shows up one way in one system, all these reports actually will show one name, the same name every time. And just all different kinds of information about that individual. And then there's their email address that the agent scorecard uses. So it's a one-stop place to get all your information about an agent, and those reporting. When the PerfMan combines everything, it looks to this file, and if you need to update an agent, change something, it's always going to come to this one source. So you don't have to try to manage all the different systems with the different IDs. So let me switch back here to the PowerPoint and move on to the next one. So we've mentioned this throughout already, but performance improves, accuracy improves, efficiency improves when you utilize this PerfMan process. The consistency is ensured in all the reports because it's the same source of data. Reporting takes far less time. Once, as I said, the time involved is building it. And then self-improvement increases, which I believe is the biggest plus of everything. You have your employees engaged with their career, their job, and their performance. And supervisors have more time for their employees to help coach and improve those numbers. So, and that's pretty much everything. And I'll turn it back over to Richard.
Thank you, Diana, for the glimpse into the City of Austin's Dashboards and Report Cards program. Very informational. If you have any follow-up questions regarding today's webinar presentation, you can email them to Amber Weens at 301 Customer Service Week office at aweens csweek.org. She will forward your questions to the next presenter for answers. Again, thank you for the 311 Synergy Group webinar today, for your attendance. Please take a look at the 311 Synergy Group found on LinkedIn. Currently, there are approximately 265 members from all over North America. Thank you for joining us today and participating in the 311 Building Block Series. We look forward to seeing you at our next webinar on Thursday, February 11th, discussing 311 training and the 311 Synergy meeting in Phoenix. See you next time. Have a great day.